I welcome all of you to Katsina State Senior Secondary Schools Online Connect, a program which connects students from different schools across Katsina State with the aim of accelerating student academic performance using educational technology software tools like the one we are using. This program is powered by exponential computers, and this lesson is English lesson for SS3, which is prepared by Aminu Suleiman and Aiki. Our lesson of today is vocabulary development. Vocabulary development. A vocabulary development is a process in which students acquire new words to improve their communication skills, the way you write, the way you talk, the way you communicate, the way you listen. So we are going to look at the words associated with government and administration. What is government? A government is a group of people with common rules and regulations that govern them. Administration is a process and manner in which the people live in. So let's move a little bit and see. We have a words associated with government. What are those words that are associated with government? We have democracy. Democracy. When you talk of government, you must talk of democracy nowadays, especially in Nigeria and the world in general, because democracy, demo means people, cracy means rule. So people rule, that is democracy. It is all about people and rule. People, the majority what? Rules. The majority carry the vote. So what is a democracy? Based on this lesson, we have a definition which says that democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That means that particular government is of the people. It's the people who lead the government, and by the people, and the people who vote the government, and for the people, and those people who vote the government are responsible for the government. So we can see that democracy is all about people, it's all about popularity, it's all about populace in the society. So democracy, the majority is democracy. People in the majority always lead in a democratic setup. In a democratic dispensation, we talk of population, we talk of majority. Then let's go a little bit. When you talk of rules, you have to talk of the economic system. So the economic system of a state is crucial. We can see that in the economic system we have capitalism, we have socialism. Now we are switching from socialism, where companies, where all the major uh, facilities, all the major property of a state are owned and controlled by a government. So now the world is moving from socialism to capitalism. So what is capitalism in terms of economic system is concerned? So capitalism is an economic system in which investment in and ownership of the means of production, distribution, and exchange of wealth is made and maintained chiefly by private individuals or corporations. So we can see that in capitalist system of economy, all the production of a state are owned by private firms. The distribution of the wealth is owned by private organization. Let's take production. When you talk of production, when you go to oil industry, the production is owned by a companies like Shell, like Total, like Ajib, like all these are companies that are responsible for mining the oil to the refineries. So you can see that production is now based on those companies. They produce it. Is that clear? Then when you talk of distribution, the refineries, those private owned filling station are the distributors. You can see that in a Katsina state we have different oil marketers in the state. So the private filling stations we have are our final distribution side. And on the other hand, when you talk of electricity, we have Kano Electric Distribution Company. So the Kano KEDCO, Kano Electric Cities Distribution Company, is responsible for distributing electricity in Kano, Katsina, as well as Jigawa. So if you go to other states like Abuja, when you go to Abuja, you see that you have Abuja Distribution Company that is responsible for distributing electricity. Niger Delta, that is Niger Delta. So a lot of private firms come in to uh, obtain the government property to make it private. That is what it's all about. Capitalism. So I hope we get to know this very well, and we are I'm sure that you are now be able to figure out the economic system, the production and distribution. Then we have a capitalist democracy. What is a capitalist democracy? It's a system in which the private sector produces goods. The private sector produces goods and services for a free market, and the government is elected to maintain and protect orderliness in the society, to maintain law and order. So we can see that production of goods and services are free, are open to all, meaning that you can go and buy your own raw materials, process it, and take it to the market, and you determine the prices. So that is what is refers to as free market. Market determines the prices. The government responsibility there is only to maintain law and order of a state or society, that being it local government, being it state, being it the federation. That is capitalist democracy. Then let's look at capitalist democracy, still continue. Capitalist democracy and capitalism, you can't shine away, because now we are practicing democracy as well as capitalism. So democracy, we say, the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Capitalism is a system of government uh, which the economic system is owned by private individual, private firms. So in a democratic capitalism is a type of political and economic system characterized by resource allocation according to both marginal production and the social need as determined by decisions reached through democratic politics or democratic processes. No, come back. Yes, you can see a chart here. When you look at the bottom, you see the people. We say the people. That is democracy. When you talk of democracy, you are referring to demo means people. Cracy means the rule. So people's rule in a democratic dispensation. So we have the people, they give out their votes to who? To the representative. After you give out the votes, then you now elect your representative by your right hand side. You elect your representative who represents your constituency. They go to the let's be it state assembly, national assembly, or local government chamber. Yes. So these are the people you elected representative. You give vote to councillors to represent the wards of a different wards in the local government. We also elect state houses to represent our own local government in the state. We also elect House of Representatives to represent us in the federal constituency, as well as the senators to represent our constituency in the National Assembly. So the senators are the upper chamber and are also called the red chamber, while the House of Representatives are the lower chamber, also known as green chamber in Nigeria. So that is how it is. So these particular representatives, they make laws based on the people interest, based on the demand of the people. That is how representatives come on board. By our left, we see that that's democracy. They give vote. People give vote to what? Direct democracy. That's the laws and rules. Are we there? Yes. Then the characteristics of capitalist democracy. What are the characteristics of capitalist democracy? Looking at the characteristics of capitalist democracy, we have the private property. That means the system respect and protect private property rights. You can be able to acquire a land, you can be able to acquire a property, and your right of occupancy is protected by the law of the land. That is the private property rights. So that is one of the characteristics. Then we talk of profit principle. The system support initiative geared towards the generation of profits by different individuals and institutions. So as far as private firm is concerned, this system allows you to gain a profit, buy something, make sell on the market, and what? And a profit. So you can be able to get a profit through marketing, through production, through your services. You only pay tax to the government. Then pluralism. The system fosters competition in line with the idea of pluralism, that is diversity. So you can see that in terms of characteristics of a capitalist democracy, it allows you and I to operate in a same business. Let's take of you and I. You have your own private school, I have mine. I always try to see that I produce a well-sound student, well-behaved. You also try to see that you compete with me, trying to bring out a well-sound student, well-behaved too. So the competition you make between you and I of the same product or the same services, that is what is referred to as competitiveness. So that is where the pluralism coming. Then up to the next characteristics, we have democratic government. The system requires the establishment of a government by the majority through free and fair elections. So the government in in capitalist democracy come in with the same majority carry the vote. That means the contender who has the highest vote should be the leader. The contender who scores the highest vote should be the leader because he has the highest popularity of the people. So he is now the leader. So that is part of the capitalist democracy. Then we have equality. The system supports the provision of equal opportunities for all in order to improve productivity and the quality of life. So as we mentioned, you are operating your own business, private school. I'm also operating my own private school. So the system of capitalist democracy give us an equal opportunity, an equal chance, which enable us to have a higher productivity. Higher what? Productivity. Good. Now we are done with the words associated with government. Because if you can remember, from the beginning of this lesson, we said our topic is vocabulary development based on government associated words. Words that are associated with government. So we can see that we are able to figure out some words which are associated to government in terms of like democracy, capitalism, socialism, pluralism, equity, a lot of words that are associated with government. Now switching from government to administrative structure. Now we say that administrative structure, looking at this structure entirely, you can see that at the topmost of this structure of the figure we have CEO. That is Chief Executive Officer. He is the overall of an organization. Let's take this diagram and see that it is exponential computers. Then if it is, then the CEO, that's the Chief Executive Officer, is the overall administrator of this organization, exponential computer. Under it, we have the directors, director ICT, director software development, director training, director developmental services, developmental and other services. So these are the directors who are under the supervision uh, and the guidance of the CEO. So after them, we have the managers. We have the managers who take care of, in terms of software, we have the manager in charge of clients, manager in terms of coding, manager in terms of testing, manager in terms of debugging, testing and debugging. So that is how the organographic tech part. So we can see that below it we have the client there. So let's relate this example with the real life situation, which are more closer to us, which is school. Take for instance your school. Remember your school. Just look at the structure of the school. Who is the overall head of the school? Principal. Principal is the overhead. After the principal, we have the vice principal academic, we have the vice principal admin. That so relating our school with this chart, we can say that vice principal admin is among the directors, vice principal academic is among the directors. Then under vice principal admin, we have senior master, we have career master. They are all under vice principal admin. Then we go back to academic. Vice principal academic, we have the examination officer, we have the guidance and counseling. They are all what under vice principal academic. So we can see that the structure at which the principal is the overhead, vice principal, then followed by senior masters, and those masters, senior masters in line are what? Administrative structure. Are we there? That's how the structure of an administration is. Then we have administrative structure too. Then what is administrative structure? Administrative structure is the arrangement of lines of authority. It determines how the roles, power, and responsibilities are assigned and how the process flows among different management. So we can see that the arrangement of lines of authority, like the case of principal, vice principal, you see, principal has his own role, vice has his own role, vice principal academic, the roles of vice principal academic is based on academic issues, and vice principal admin is based on administrative issues. And the power are shared between among them. But the overall power is the principal. So the responsibilities that we share among them, that is what is referred to as what? Responsibilities assigned, and how the process flows among different managements. Administrative board structure. We see some words here. Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. Manner, way, process in which a particular organization runs its affairs to attain a certain desired goal to attain a certain desired objective. Are we clear? That is bureaucracy. It has to undergo a normal process, normal procedure based on the existing and establishment rules of the organization. Then the cadre, we can have different cadres. The case of clinic, you can have pharmaceutical, pharmacist technicians is a cadre, laboratory technicians is a cadre, nurses, all these are what? Cadres of different things. If you are a pharmacist, you can't be in laboratory because it is not your cadre. If you are in laboratory, you cannot be in pharmacy because it's not your cadre. So that is how the cadre is. Then the circular, what is a circular? Circular is just a piece of paper that provide instruction or guide to an organization. It's a piece of paper that gives the people in a particular organization a sense of direction. A sense of direction. That is the circular. Permanent secretary. Who is a permanent secretary? Permanent secretary is the highest civil service officer in a particular state or federation. In a particular ministry, let's say Ministry of Education, we have the permanent secretary, who is the overall head of civil service. All the civil servants under education are under permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education. Being its state ministry or federal ministry. Then we have official rank. As we said, everything is ranking. We have the principal in your school, vice principal, senior masters. All these are what? Ranking. Based in your school, you have the students, the prefects. You see, they are all what? Even the prefects are what? Officially ranked. Labor prefects, house captain, senior prefect. So all this, you can see that is what is ranked. Good. That is why we come to the end of this lesson of today. Hope you understand. Hope you grab a lot. Hope you understand the vocabulary development as well as what are associated with government and administration. Thank you very much and God bless you. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Exponential Computers, for the recorded parts of the lessons we normally conducted. Thank you very much and God bless you all. Bye bye.